Hello, welcome to class this month, Studio 54.
Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today.
So happy birthday, Tami. And last month we focused on like deranging, like not going big, and Studio 54, not that I was around for it, but it was all about like being your biggest, boldest self, like no polyester shirts and like be grand. And so I don't want to scare anyone off. If this is your first month with us, we will definitely, what's so nice about the Cadillac is actually supports and builds up the range. So in everything that we do, I will offer up a smaller range version of it, and then we'll go grand. And you don't have to go grand yet if it's not in your practice, okay? Before we get started, let's figure out what some of our sticky spots are so we can go big. So grab your rollback bar and place your feet into your poles, and then we'll start small. So knees bent, and you'll pull your waist back. Just tap the lower back and then round back up. If you're able to keep your feet on the poles through that sticky spot and that lower back, you're probably going to be really good to go for being grand. What I'm excited about with this theme is that sometimes in Pilates we can get a little like precious and perfecty. And here we're going to just go all the way down, all the way, and then all the way up. Let's go find our grand range here. It's all the way down. The feet are in the poles and then all the way up. And are you able to articulate through your upper back? One more. Stay down and then draw some circles. Pull the bar as wide as possible. So you're drawing the circles not from your elbows bending, but from your shoulders. And be as big as possible here. And then roll it up. Okay. A little easier would be to roll part way back and bend the elbows. A more grand position is to go all the way back and then bend the elbows. So can you do this keeping your low ribs wide on the mat? And if you're halfway up doing this, can you do it without your shoulders coming in your ears? 2 more. Last one, and then roll it up. Awesome. Okay, now roll all the way back, or again, halfway if all the way back is too grand for your practice right now, and then push the bar down like you're doing a pump for the hundreds or a chest expansion, and press. It's not necessarily going to be huge. It doesn't have to be huge. And press. And press. And press. One more. And then roll all the way up. Good. Take the right hand in the center. Take the left arm around your waist. And you can come halfway back and just take the arm wide. Or you can go grand, go all the way down. And then take the hand outside the pole or grab as far as you can on the mat. And then slide the leg over. Take the hand back around, center your spine up and come up. You're like, Lesley, we do this all the time. How is this grand? Yeah, we're doing some big deal exercises all the time, and you're not giving yourself credit for it, right? Slide over. But how can we make it more grand? Can we make the space on the side we're bending to longer? Can we reach our leg longer? Can we push into the pole more? And then foot over, center off your spine, and come all the way up. And again, round back, and then arm over, leg over. Lengthen your bottom side, waist that you're bending towards. Oh, goodness. That was so grand. And other side, and reach. Awesome. Now that you're even, go ahead and spin around. So again, we're going to work a smaller range, and then we're going to go bigger. So taking the right spring, putting it on your left foot, and then bend the knee of the leg that doesn't have a spring, push it into the mat, put the hands on the bars, and then bend and straighten the legs. Letting the shoulders hang down, letting the low ribs take up space. Push your foot into the strap and let the strap press into your foot. so that you're working with the spring. Whenever we want to go grand, we want to work with the connections, not without them. Stay out there and go up and down. So sometimes it's really tempting to like overpower a spring or let the spring pull you around. What I want you to do is stand in the spring in both directions. And then when you do this bicycle, play with how much you can stay connected before you go bigger. So what that means is, how high am I going to go? Only as high I can stand the spring. Maybe you go inch by inch till you figure out what that is. When you go down, how low do you go? Only as much as it's from the back of your leg. When you slide the foot in, you get to see how close can my foot come before my muscles want to turn off, and then pick that shape up. So going grand means finding the strength and then going as far with that strength as we can. And with each rep, it might get bigger and bolder and more grand. Last time. And slide it out. All right. Take the right leg long. Lift that top leg up. And then what I do want you to do is, if you were feeling really confident in that and your back is fine, we're going to go grand already. If you're like, I don't know, I'm too soon. So you can draw circles, 5 in each direction without lifting the hip, or go big. Lift the hip. Take the leg around, plant the hip and the leg is in line and like straight out in front of you. And then open the leg all the way up. And again, lift the hip. I went so grand, I hit my wall. It's a long leg problem when you go grand. So I'm going to stay in my spring. Even if I close the spring because I drew such a big circle, I'm going to feel like I'm still connected to it. And then we reverse. We go out to the side. We go around, lift the hip, plant the hip. And again, out to the side and around, lift the hip and plant the hip. One more. It's going to feel good to be bold and big and take up space. That's kind of what Studio 54 makes me think of. Like, even if you're like, I don't know what that disco place was. To be so young. No, go ahead and switch sides. What I like to think about when I look at pictures from that time is that like everybody was being like themselves to the T, like, and maybe like being a little bit grander, like playing up the version of themselves, the be it till you see it version of that, but also go up and down. They were taking up space authentically. They weren't apologizing for what they wore, who they were. They were just being like, this is me. So here you are on your Cadillac, on your tower, and you are being you, 100%. And if you're not, go ahead and do your bicycle. If you find your like self being like judgy, perfecty, plain small, going, oh, this is the size of a circle that I make, and like being really precious about it, put on some amazing music, put on some Tina Turner, put on some Aretha, right? Put on some music that's like just women belting out amazing songs that makes you just want to like dance. Put on some Cher, like just take up space. You are worth it. Lift that leg up. Big circles. Pilates is the art, the study of control, right? But it doesn't mean we're control freaks. We are truly playing with it's almost like you're trying to test the boundaries of where control is. Reverse the circles. You know those kids who you said don't go past that line, and then they go right to the line, not over it, and you're like, oh my God, why are they testing me and my boundaries? That's who I want you to be in this month. That annoying kid. Awesome. Okay. So both knees into your chest, one spring on each foot. Hands onto the vertical poles, and you can do 3 frogs here. So this is the, it's big. It's a big exercise already, but we're going to make it really grand in just a second. So you can play with that. That's a little bit easier is the wrong word, a little more possible. Or go bigger and lift the hips up as you frog out. Keep the hips up as you frog in. Reach the hips out. One more. And roll the spine down. Then push the legs out and draw 3 circles in either direction. And I know you want to make these bigger because we're taking up space, but it's actually like how much can I stand in the springs with my muscles and keep the tailbone down. And then bend the knees in. And then we're going to do 3 circles in each direction with the hips.